Okay, in this video we have integral number 8 in the series. If you want to go ahead and try this out, you can pause the video and I'll be right back. Now this one here has the look of a U substitution for me. So I'm going to break this up. I'm always looking ahead. I'm going to break this into sine fourth to the fourth power of 3x and sine of 3x dx. Now I'm looking ahead again, so the derivative of cosine I know is minus sine, so that gives me sine of 3x right there. So I'm looking to put everything in terms of cosines. So I'm going to start by letting u equal cosine of 3x. Then du, derivative of cosine is minus sine. So it'll be minus sine of 3x. Then the chain rule, derivative of 3x is 3. So that would have to come out of here. And this will be a dx over here. Let's solve it. Since we have a sine 3x dx on the right side, let's just go ahead and solve it for sine 3x dx by dividing by negative 3. So this will give me a sine of 3x dx will equal to minus 1/3. We're dividing both sides by negative 3. Now you can go ahead and use whatever technique, integration technique you want. Integrate this and put the expressions back in terms of the trig functions. You can leave the limits of integration. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform everything into u. So I'm going to want the limits in terms of u. So this right now is in terms x equals 0, x equals pi over 6 for those limits here. So if x is equal to 0, and that would imply that u is equal to, going back over here, plugging in a 0 where the x is, I get cosine of 3 times 0 or cosine of 0, and that's 1. And then what happens if x is equal to pi over 6? What's the corresponding value of u? We'll put a pi over 6 over here. That's pi over 2. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0. So the new limits then, with this setup, will go run from 1 to 0. Now we'll proceed. This is from 1 to 0. I'm going to rewrite this as sine squared of 3x quantity squared. And let me start right here. The sine of 3x, the sine of 3x here, sine of 3x dx over here, right here, can be replaced by a minus 1/3 du. So let me replace this by minus 1/3 du. So I'll put the minus 1/3 out in front. This then becomes du. Again, transforming everything in terms of u. Then we look at this expression right here, sine squared. We know that cosine squared of an angle plus sine squared of an angle is equal to 1. Okay, just abbreviating here. In this case, then, sine squared of an angle, in this case we're talking about 3x, using this identity is the same thing as 1 minus cosine squared. But we know in a substitution, cosine squared, or cosine rather, is equal to u. So I can replace the sine squared by 1 minus cosine is u, in this case of 3x, quantity squared. So there we have it. So I'm just going to go say this is minus 1/3 the integral from 1 to 0, replacing the sine squared of 3x by 1 minus u squared, quantity squared. And that's pretty much it as far as the setup goes. And now it's just a matter of integrating, simplifying this thing, expanding the expression there. There's minus 1/3. Still have the integral here. Haven't integrated yet. 1 to 0. And square this out. This will be 1 minus 2u squared plus u to the 4th. That's what we get for when we expand 1 minus u squared quantity squared. This is du. And then this is equal to, I'm going to leave the minus 1/3 out in front. And we're going to integrate this then, term by term. Basic integration with respect to u. So this will be u here minus, add 1 to the exponent there, u squared, we get u to the 3rd. Then we divide by that, get a minus 2/3 here. Plus, add 1 to the 4 there, for the u to the 4th, we get u to the 5th. Divide by that, we get this. And then now we're going to use the limits. So this will go then, limits of integration will go from 1 to 0. So let me continue over here. This will be minus 1/3. Okay, so obviously we're replacing the u by 0, upper limit. So every term's going to be 0. So we're going to get 0 minus, and then for the next one, replacing everything by 1. So this will be 1 minus 2/3, and the next one, 1 to the 5th is 1, we get 1/5. You get that. So we add these two right here, 1 and minus 2/3 is 1/3. Then we have to add the 1/5 to that. And this will give us 8/15. Then you apply the minus, so that'll be a minus right there. And we have a negative 1/3 out in front. Multiply that out. Negatives cancel out, and we get 8. 3 times 15 is 45. So the final result, the value of this definite integral is 8/45. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.